Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for waiting. We had a few people to fit in tonight. So welcome to the Seal of Biliteracy Awards ceremony. My name is Sarah Edwards, and I am the World Language Department Chair at Vineland High School. I am honored to be hosting this awards ceremony this evening, along with teachers from our department. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of some special guests and make some recognitions. Suzette DeMarchi, Principal of Vineland High School, Gia Masori, Communication Director, Dr. Joanne Negrin, Supervisor of World Languages, Bilingual Education, ESL, and Performing Arts, and more. Jacqueline Alvarez, Assistant Principal of Vineland High School South. And I'd like to acknowledge the Board of Education and Central Administration, our Superintendent, Mr. Yano, and Megan Spinelli, the President of the Vineland Board of Education, as well as Kimberly Cotaspati, Vice President, and members Inez Acosta, Renee Fabry, Nicholas Fiocchi, Cedric Holmes, Dennis Rivera, F. John Sabrana, and Alex Silva. Again, thank you all for being here this evening to recognize our students. At this time, please welcome Dr. Joanne Negrin, District Supervisor, as I said, of Bilingual ESL, World Languages, Title III, and Music.
Good evening, everyone. Buenas tardes a todos. This is one of those evenings of the school year that I look forward to the most. And so I want to thank the teachers of Vineland High School, and especially our department head, Ms. Sarah Edwards. Not only were they responsible for the organization and administration of the testing, but they were also the people who put this recognition ceremony together. Simply put, without their unwavering support, there would be no Seal of Biliteracy at Vineland High School. I also want to thank you, the parents. Many of you are bilingual yourselves, and you have bestowed that inheritance on your children. Others may not be bilingual, but recognize that learning a new language or a heritage language was important to connect the child to the past and to the future. If you insisted that they speak a language other than English at home, or took them to heritage language schools outside of the school day, thank you. If you encourage them to learn a new language or a family language that you didn't have the opportunity to learn yourself, thank you. Thank you for knowing that the future is multilingual and for giving your children the keys to open so many doors. If your children haven't thanked you for that yet, I guarantee you that they will. And to the students, I also say thank you. Being a high school student has never been more demanding. You have so many different things competing for your time and interest, and you have made the choice to take your language learning to a high level. There are probably as many motivations for doing so as there are students here tonight. Maybe it was a way to communicate with relatives and to connect with your heritage. Maybe you were motivated by career opportunities that being multilingual unlocks, or the way that it makes you able to feel at home in new places. Whatever your motivation, your success is celebrated here tonight, and I salute you for your perseverance. The Seal of Biliteracy is more than just an award. It is money in your pocket. Colleges often offer university credit to students who have earned the Seal of Biliteracy. This means that this is one course you may not need to pay for if you go to college, and it means that you start your language studies at a higher level. The average cost of an undergraduate course at a public university in New Jersey is around $1,500. Therefore, if the university accepts the Seal of Biliteracy for college credit, that seal is worth around $1,500. If everyone graduating from Vineland High School next month with the Seal of Biliteracy were awarded those 3 college credits, you all would have earned nearly $120,000 in college credit. If you're going straight to work, the seal gives you an advantage in a competitive job market. Lots of people can say they speak another language, but you have proof that you can speak it and write it at a high level. Bilingual candidates often earn a premium of up to 20% in salary and over 90% of employers seek out candidates who have the ability to work in another language. My advice to you is to not leave language learning behind when you leave high school. The world is full of adventures and opportunities, and the more languages you know, the more doors you can unlock. So again, congratulations, everyone, and thank you, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Negrin. On the stage before you are the students who have earned the Seal of Biliteracy, either as a junior or a senior, in one or more of the following languages: American Sign Language, Italian, Russian, Spanish, Ukrainian, and Vietnamese. Please give them a round of applause for their achievements. At this time, I will begin calling the names of the students who have achieved the Seal of Biliteracy by language. Please hold your applause until all students in that group have been called up. Awarding the students who earned the Seal of Biliteracy in American Sign Language this evening is their instructor, Mrs. Juliana Frankenfield. Waiting for them to make their way around. The students who have earned the Seal of Biliteracy in American Sign Language are Dasani Calderon, Rashanti Casper, Rachel Davis, please give them a round of applause. Being awarded this evening for achieving the Seal of Biliteracy in Italian is Pamela Peña. Please give Pamela a round of applause. Awarding the students who earned the Seal of Biliteracy in Russian this evening is our Russian instructor, Ms. Vlada Jackson. The students who have earned the Seal of Biliteracy in Russian are Marina Yazvinska, Diana Komnarenko, Maxim Ostrakov and Nikita Ostrakov, Yevgenia Seredyuk, and Bogdan Taranenko. A round of applause for the Russian students. This is a longer list, so hold your applause until the end, please. Awarding the students who earned the Seal of Biliteracy in Spanish are our Spanish instructors in the South Building, Ms. Adalys de Jesus and Ms. Joseline del Moral. The students who have earned the Seal of Biliteracy in Spanish are Maria Liz Alberto, Alexa Arias, Natalie Ariola, Ruben Artillero Palma, Daisy Bautista, Mireya Bautista Cruz, Ruti Brea Reyes, Rosa Castellanos Cruz, Giancarlos Encarnacion, Yunesi Estrada, Emily Felipe, Jelitza Figueroa Bonano, Alondra Fuentes Cruz, Giselle Garcia, Caitlin Garcia, Kimberly Garcia, Joan Guerrero Ortega, Alex Hernandez Bautista, Jennifer Hernandez Robredo, Jacqueline Hernandez Ruiz, Adolfo Jimenez Crisanto, Ashley Leboff, Frank Lopez and Jennifer Lopez Valle, Jennifer Lopez, Stephanie Lopez, Diana Lopez Hernandez, Catherine Marino, Jennifer Martinez Alaves, Damaris Mayoral, Brandy Medina Zavala, Abigail Mendoza, Sheila Mendoza Chavez, Alessandra Merida Vasquez, Santiago Mondragon, a round of applause. We're halfway through. Odeli Montes Matias, Miguel Shani Morales Vasquez, Sheila Murillo Aguilar, Nadia Nicolas, Amanda Ortega, Iana Ortiz, Jaxeline Osorio, Azucena Pala Moran, Tiffany Peña Mateo, Elena Perez, Ryan Pollock, Ashley Reyes Mendez, Elizabel Rivera, Isayed Rivera, Raúl Rivera, Alondra Rivera Teles, Genuel Rodriguez Aponte, Pamela Peña, Sonialin Rosario, Estefani Rosas Vera, Gloriani Sanchez, Shadi Sanchez, Adrián Serrano Becerra, Daniel Tomás Rivas, Iriani Torres, Emily Varela, Kelsey Vasquez, Cynthia Velasquez, Jose Villanueva Martinez, Nivia Zamora, David Zarate Flores. Give them a round of applause, please, the Spanish students. One other Spanish student that we have to recognize who got here a little bit late, I want to recognize now. We're trying to work it out. Come. There we go. Alexa Arias, who was receiving the Seal of Biliteracy in Spanish. Somebody get this woman a cord. Okay, finding. There we are. Awarding the students who earned the Seal of Biliteracy in Ukrainian is our Russian instructor, Ms. Vlada Jackson. The students who have earned the Seal of Biliteracy in Ukrainian are Yevgenia Seredyuk and Bogdan Taranenko. A round of applause. Our student who earned the Seal of Biliteracy in Vietnamese, Kang Nguyen, I tried, could not be here this evening, but a round of applause for Kang. And at this time, I'd like to welcome Dr. Ngrin back to the stage to introduce a very special group of students.
Our final group of students to be awarded this evening earned the Seal of Biliteracy by completing two very challenging tests: the Oral Proficiency Interview, or OPI, and the Written Proficiency Test, or WPT. They are part of our Rowan University Dual Enrollment Bilingual Teacher Education Program, and passing these two exams is an essential step in becoming a bilingual teacher in the state of New Jersey. Their instructor, Mrs. Sonia Bertini, could not be here this evening, so I'll award these students. And they are Alexa Cuba Ortiz, Evelyn Cruz, Hannah Matias, Jeremy Rodriguez Rios, Jose Garcia Venancio, and Margarita Castro Quintino. Felicidades.
I'd now like to invite Mr. Jim Fern, German teacher at Vineland High School, to say a few closing remarks.
Good evening. I'd like to close tonight by building on what Dr. Ngrin said earlier about the value of learning languages. And if you'll indulge me for just a brief moment, I'd like to share something that happened to me at the start of a recent school year. The first time every summer checking my new class list before the school year starts is always a little exciting. I know, kind of a shame that it's, but hey, small excitements help to get past the looming end of the summer vacation. So normally it's a little, it's good to see the names of the students that you'll be seeing and teaching for the coming year. Until I checked my class list and found there were two students that were from opposite sides of a major war who were going to be in my same class. Immediately, my mind conjured images of tense stares across the classroom, a uncomfortable atmosphere for an entire school year, or even worse. I worried about it for weeks, and then the time came, and the two students came into class, and of course, they became the best of friends. Why? Despite coming from opposite sides of a deadly war, they spoke the same language. So in my ESL class, in an environment where they were surrounded by a strange language and a strange culture, I, for one, who have traveled extensively and even taken my students to Germany, know all about the stress and the fatigue that can come from being surrounded by a strange language and a strange culture. So it really shouldn't have been any surprise that they became best of friends, just if for no other reason than to hear a familiar language. No conflict, no matter how severe, halfway across the globe, could overcome that relief that you feel. The United Nations lists 57 different armed conflicts across 5 continents happening right now as we speak. Last year alone, these conflicts took more than 150,000 lives. And there are refugees and victims from many of these conflicts here in our Vineland community. You don't have to be an expert in linguistics to know that people can't talk to each other without a shared language. And you don't have to be an expert in history to know the only way any war will ever end is by two enemies sitting down and talking to each other. As Dr. Negrin said, there are probably as many motivations for this award as there are students receiving it. You may not have considered here that peace and diplomacy would be a reason for doing what you did and earning this certificate. But in a world ravaged by war, every word of a new language we learn is another step towards spreading peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fern, and congratulations, students, on receiving the Seal of Biliteracy. Please stand so that we can give you one more round of applause in recognition of your accomplishments. Thank you to all of you for your support and your presence as we recognize the achievements of these students. Please remain seated until the students have exited the auditorium at the back, and then please join us for refreshments in the East cafeteria once they've left, okay? Thank you so much. So you guys can go. Oh, Dan.